Hey, what's going on? So we are continuing the process of modding the Game Boy Advance SP. So I did discover something off camera. I believe this part 3, but I did discover something off camera, and it has to deal with the lid. You probably noticed in the first video that when I showed both of these side by side, they actually looked very similar. That's because they were. The shell replacement I bought was a limited edition, not IPS ready. So it required cutting, and that was the first time I've done cutting. So I had to cut this side, and it looks a little rough. I had to take a chunk out of here. I used a blade and my 3D printer cutters right here to do it. This was the end result. It now fits perfectly. So first thing we're gonna do in this video is go ahead and get the hinges on. So they should pop in fairly easily. Just gotta get them lined up. They might be a little tedious also. Let's get the other side in. Alright. That side's in. See if we can get this side to pop in now. There we go. Alright, and those are in. Alright, so that's done. Let's go ahead and let's put this cover on. And if I didn't say, what we're doing in this video is finishing up the assembly on this. Okay, remember how I mentioned before, be careful not to pinch the wires and any screw holes. So let's see here. I want to do this. Okay, it's right there. It should be one of the small screw, one of those. And these should all be Phillips, I believe. I have the Phillips bit in there, not sure. Yeah, it's Phillips. Okay. That should be on now. Oh. Yeah, there you go. That's sticking out. Don't like the way that fits. I'm not a fan of that. Can only go on one way, I believe. And also be careful when putting the screws in. You don't want to put them in too tight because you don't want to crack the plastic. So that's something else to keep in mind. But we'll roll with that for now. Might make some minor adjustments later. Here's some of the plastic from when I was cutting. There we go. Okay. Let's get this lid on. Okay, and the screws, I believe it should be the shorter ones. These ones here. In the kit, it should all be Phillips, so you won't have the Nintendo ones anymore. Okay. There's one, and just like the Disassembly or the Disassembly, should be 5 screws. Two more to go. Two bottom ones, which is where a lot of the cutting needed to be done. And we'll check the fitment here as soon as I get this last screw in. Make sure the fitment looks good. Oh yeah, that fitment looks really good. I'm very happy with that. Okay. Now we need to put the motherboard, screw the motherboard in, which I believe would be these same screws for that was used for the screen. Actually, before I do that, I just want to look at the screws that the motherboard that was originally used. I think were these. Looks a little longer. Oh wait, no. I almost forgot something very important. Speaker, the buttons, all that needs to go on. I almost forgot about all that, so let's do that now. That's funny. Okay. Speaker. Actually, I think this goes on first. And just keep in mind, you might want to make sure these are up a little bit so that they make contact. Do not break them. Okay. Just so they make contact there. Speakers and D-pad. It's funny, I almost forgot about doing all these. Oh, other way. Go. Okay. do the A and B and try not to get them mixed up. So here, A should be give me 1 second because I don't want to get those mixed up. Okay, A should be that one. Okay. Oh, I don't know why I did that, because it can only go in one way because of the way the tabs are. There we go, A and B. There we go. Put those down one. Okay, start select. Brightness button. Okay, that should be everything. So now remember, watch the wires. To keep that in mind. Don't want to pinch any. Okay, I don't see any wires being obstructed, so it should be good there. Now we can mount the motherboard. Alright, so here, one. That's longer, so I don't want to use that one. No. Did I move it up here? I think I did. Yeah, 1, 2. Wait, did I? Yeah, those are fill-ups. It's not. I feel like there's a screw missing. Now the reason why I said to check those is because you don't want to use the ones that are too long, because they will go through the case and it'll put a hole in your case. And actually, I need to change my bit. Maybe this one? No, too big. It's too big too, isn't it? Yeah, alright, maybe it was the bit I had. I don't like the way that feels. I think I might actually use the original screws, just because I know they're the right length. And the last thing I want to do is put a hole in the front of my case. So I'll just use the original screws. Better safe than sorry. This is why you keep all your original screws organized and close by. Someone better knowledge than me could probably say why. It's advise the correct screws to use, but they mounted and they're fine and it's in there, so I'm not that worried about it. Alright, so now let's put these over here, put the back on. Actually, no. What you gotta do now is don't forget to put your power button and your volume button on. So, power right here, I think. Going like this or like that. It can only go in one way, right? Right now it's in the off position. Make sure when you're putting it on, they line up, because you don't want to break your button adjusters. Your power button on and the volume button adjuster. Here's the volume one. This one I think you can stick on. Maybe. There we go. It's got to go on the inside of the case and then it slides onto the button. So now we can put our back on. There we go. All right. Now it should be these screws here. Remember, be careful putting the screws in. Don't over tighten them because you don't want to crack the plastic. They will be a little tough because these screws are not already threaded. The plastic that the screws are going into, they're making their own threads, which is why I believe these should be self-tapping screws. Go. One more for there. Okay, you got two more. One right there inside the battery, and then one right there above where the cartridge goes. Those are smaller screws. Go. Last one. Here. We go. Okay. So now is the battery, and remember, you need to put this in. See what I forgot? So I forgot to put that in on the inside of this back case. So I need to take all these back out because I forgot to do that. I knew I forgot something. Never fails. You always forget one thing. That's okay. Only take a couple minutes to do it. It's not a video without something getting forgot. And I do have the stickers for these also somewhere. I'll get those out here momentarily once we get this fully assembled and make sure it turns on and everything is working the way it should. Oh, I already got that screw. I already got all four of those. Okay. Now hopefully my shoulder buttons don't fall off when I take this off. Okay, there we go. Okay. Right there. So this needs to go right here. Oh, a magnet. Pull off. There we go. Alright, so it kind of sits in there loose. So I think I'm going to put it on like this. There we go. Looks good. Okay. Only a couple minute detour there. Now we can button it up. Yeah, with the A and B buttons, with most of those buttons, they can only go in one way, so I don't know why I had to look. But yeah, the way that they sit in there, they can only go one way, so you don't have to worry about that if and when you do this. There we go. 2 more to go. One more. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and put the battery in. Battery is in. Battery tray. It's also a Phillips. All right. I'll get the stickers out here momentarily. But here it is. So that, I don't know. It's a little weird. I don't know why that doesn't sit very flush. But let's go ahead and make sure everything turns on and it's working like that. Let's do that again. Oh, I forgot something. Ah, there we go. So don't forget to do this. This is the lights. For the lights, they go right here. So I will need to do that. That's okay. Let's just make sure everything's working now. Let's just throw a game in and do put them on yellow. Yeah, speaker's working. And let's make sure the brightness brightness button is working. You can see. Let's change the color palette. There we go. Awesome. Looks like I have a shoulder button that's not working. That one's working. Maybe it's not sitting right. Start button. Okay. Alright, well it looks like it's working, so we gotta do some finishing touches that I forgot. Oh, I also gotta put these on. I forgot about those. So actually, let's do that right now. Let's go ahead and put those on. So the flat ones will go here, here, and here. There's one. There's two. There's three. And then these big ones go right here. And right here. Alright, so now those are on. Right? And I need to put that in, so I gotta do that. Go ahead and knock that out. Still gotta put the sticker on too. It really does not like to come out. There we go. Okay. Do I have to take the motherboard out to do that? I don't remember. I think I do, actually. That kind of sucks. Well, you know what? While I'm doing that, I can take a look at that piece that I don't like how it's fitting. Because I really don't like how that one piece is fitting. It just doesn't look like it's sitting right for some reason. And I gotta address that shoulder button. That wasn't working right. That button doesn't feel right. Okay, which button was it? The buttons feel good. Yeah, I gotta take the motherboard out. Okay. So let's take a look at why that piece is not sitting right. Oh, button fell out. Oh, my buttons fell out. That's okay. Okay, maybe the screw went in crooked and that's what the problem was. And make sure we don't forget about this. There we go. Now let's make sure the wires are good. How does that look? Oh yeah, buttons. That looks better. That looks significantly better. Okay. I don't want to forget about my buttons. So, yeah, it's off screen there. A, B. And remember, we gotta address that shoulder button and figure out what's going on with that, because that didn't feel right either. Don't want that. Oh. Oh. Get in there. There we go. Okay. Alright, let's mount the motherboard back in. This video has turned out to be a little bit longer than I wanted, you know, since I had to reassemble it a couple of times because I forgot stuff like a dummy. That's okay. It happens. Alright, so now let's just take a look. Make sure we're still happy with that. I mean, it looks better than what it did. I'm still not too crazy about the fitment, but it looks better than what it did because, yeah, it looks all right. The buttons feel good. All right, so now let's not forget about the shoulder button. Now, see, my battery tray thing fell out, so don't forget that because it can fall out very easily. So let's take a look at these. This loose. I don't like the way that feels. Looks right. Let's just take it off and redo it. I don't like the way that feels. So the spring goes in like this. Oh, wait. Yeah. It's like this. The rod post goes down through. Mounts on the case. And that goes there. Because that's getting caught. See, that's doesn't look right, does it? Oh, there we go. Still feels the same. Let's put it on and see how. Oh, see, it fell off. Remember, that will fall off if you do it like that. So, oh, come on. There we go. All right, let's try this again. Fell out. Wrong way. Apparently it only fits a certain way. That is not the way. There we go. Okay, let's try it again. This one feels really good. I can feel this one. I think it might be. I think it's good. Let's turn it on and see what happens. And before I do anything else, I'm not gonna screw it together. I'm gonna make sure everything's working the way I like it, so I don't have to unscrew it again. No, still doesn't feel right. It's not doing nothing. It's this button here. Is there a wire getting pinched in there, maybe? No? No wire. Let me try the original and see what happens. Yeah, that feels right. You know what I might consider doing? I might switch the springs out. Because maybe there's something going on with that spring and the placement shell. Battery. That? No, my shoulder button ain't working. Okay. Well, that is interesting. I don't have a jumper pack. I don't know if I can. Maybe. Let's just try this. Ah, shoot. Okay, hold on. Let me get a game in. Okay, got a game in. I'm hitting the shoulder button directly and it is not working. So my shoulder button isn't working. I don't remember that being a problem when I bought this Game Boy. So I am going to have to troubleshoot that. Well, that is interesting. Alright, so I'm going to troubleshoot my shoulder button off camera and figure out what is going on with it. Hopefully I don't have to replace the shoulder button. I'll have to look into that. But that is the mod kit. That's what this video was meant for, was to show you how the mod kit works and how it goes together, and just me tinkering and putting it together. So once that fell out. Once I troubleshoot the shoulder button and get everything figured out with that, I will create another video showing you all the features and hooking it up to a CRTV and showing you how all that works. I'll keep you updated on what the issue was with the shoulder button once I figure it out. But thank you for taking the time watching this video, and have a good day.